Alright, hey everybody, how's it going? I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's doing well, especially with the current circumstances with I call it the CCP virus now. Today is going to be about a little bit about the story of Adam and Eve and how it kind of mixes in psychologically. So, okay. Adam and Eve is the second creation account of humanity. So, according to Yahweh God, fashioned man of dust from the soil. Then he breathed into his nostrils a breath of life, and thus man became a living being. Man, Adam, comes from the earth, Adamah, or Adamah. I'm not quite sure on the pronunciation on that, so I just made my best guess, and shall return to it. So, we are basically creatures of this planet, this earth, and so we come from it. But the breathing of the breath of life into the nostrils comes from heaven. So we kind of like are opposites between earth and air. We're a mixture of matter and spirit. And humanity is a creation between heaven and earth, opposites, air and earth, union of the opposites. The other creation story is God created man in the image of himself. In the image of God, he created him, male and female. He created them. Genesis 1:27, which is the union between the spirit of the earth. Okay, so in this, the way how I kind of, you can look at these first two things in several ways, but I look at the first chapter of Genesis as basically like an outline of everything. And we're not even to day 7 because creation isn't technically complete. We're still in day 6. And day 6 was when God created man. Now, this creation was the first account, so that happened before Adam and Eve. That is kind of my understanding of things, the way how I read it. Everybody reads it differently. And then there's also various other ways that you can look at it. And I kind of like that because it brings out several meanings within like one thing. When you can read something and you can dissect it in several ways, I like it because it shows how much thought was actually put into writing it so that it could be translated that way. And you have to get into the word dissection of the Hebrew language and the mathematical structure of it too to really grasp some of those details. Okay, so Adam equals he's kind of like the self. When you got the ego and the self. So Adam and God kind of like carry this God image, and this God image like that's within us is what we are trying to bring our ego inside so that we rid ourselves of the ego and we become the self. We become one. Okay, so there is a deep doctrine in the legend of the fall. It is the expression of a dim presentiment that the emancipation of ego consciousness was a Luciferian deed. Man's whole history consists from the very beginning in a conflict between the feelings of inferiority and his arrogance. So the eating of the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil symbolizes the birth of consciousness, when the dawning of awareness of the opposites. So when Adam and Eve both ate of the apple, that was when we obtained the knowledge of the opposites. and that's when we divided. That was our fault. And and it's kind of why duality is fake, like love and hate. Hate is the absence of love, not is the absence of light. They're one and the same. We just don't perceive it that way until you do some meditation, some thinking, and some spiritual looking into. Okay, and then finally, there is also a Gnostic version that represents Elohim as the 7 planetary deities, and states that Adam is cast out of paradise and down upon the earth, implying that heretofore he had not quite been born into an earthly existence. And that's a very interesting one, because you can also see that when you read the Bible, especially since it looks like I would say that God placed Adam in Eden, like he wasn't originally from there. And so there's, I would say, a lot of different connections to where does Adam actually come from. And that's something that is up to you of whether or not where he came from or whatever. I just kind of want to put that out there to get you thinking and questioning. I have my answers, but you definitely probably have yours. And then the last part I'm going to discuss, kind of like how does this, okay, so, and this is just something we're building upon. Like, we're going to be, like, first we started with the creation of everything. Now we finally hit Adam and Eve, and now we're gonna slowly go through the main portions of everything, and you're gonna see how it all adds up together, psychologically and within yourself. So Adam and Eve, even though they also represent this like self kind of configuration, I would also say that they also represent the Adamah and the Adamahs, because men have to connect with the feminine in order to become whole, and women have to connect with the masculine in order to become whole. And these are things that we're building up to. And so we're getting into the next thing. What is the next the next part is going to be about okay, and the next part's going to be about the flood and the Tower of Babel. But until then, because this is part of the story too, I wanted to talk about two things. First, Gadriel, or Gadriel, or however you want to pronounce it. He was the angel in the Hermetic text. He was one of the fallen angels, and I believe that is the name for Satan. And the way how you pronounce that G-A-D in Hebrew is actually God. And so that's why I don't use the word God, because it kind of relates back to Gadriel. And that's why I use like the all, because I believe higher consciousness is everything. It created this whole universe, and if you can see the plasmic cosmic web in like certain pictures, it kind of looks like a picture of your brain in a way. How all the stars, the energy is all connected and everything like that. They actually feed off of each other. And and it's that energy, because we come from a sun. It's that energy that also flows within us. And so it's all connected together. We are all one. You don't have to choose to see everything separately. So, Gadril, or Gadril, the G-A-D in his name in Hebrew, it means fortune. And if you look fortune up, that actually is the difference of good and evil, which ties into the tree, which ties into consciousness, ties into the whole process. The other thing is not until about maybe 12 or the 12 or 1300s, the Earth wasn't called the Earth. It didn't start becoming called the Earth until about the 12 or 1300s. Before that, this was known as the material world. And I think that's just something to kind of think about. So I'm going to put that out there because some of these things will get hit up. And Gadril is actually also a character in my novel, too. So, anyways, you guys have a good one. If you have any questions, let me know. And that, stay positive, stay safe. I want positive thoughts for everybody. Good vibes, good vibes. And we need a lot more of that right now. So, everybody, be positive, be safe. I think the ending of this virus is coming soon. I think we're getting a handle on the situation. It may not seem like it, but I got scholarly journals that I look up, and there's like over 30 medications that people that have shown work. So there is a lot of information right now. I mean, it may not be, us tested and approved and all that, but there is good information. They got plenty of resources on what to use. One of the best things is to stay hydrated. Boil some lemon and water and drink it. That'll do you a lot of good. That'll keep your hydration. Everybody stay safe, stay positive, because viruses will work better when you're in a fear or a negative state. So it's best not to be that way. Meditate, pray, do whatever you can to stay positive. Exit any kind of negative thought out of your head. Everybody have a good one. Until next time, it'll be a poem. Alright. Peace out. Bye.